if Marcus is able to play or is the one that you have to start this week, what gives you confidence in him and his ability to execute your offense?
Yeah, last year, just being around him for a year, when we signed him back, we felt like we have two starters in the building, which is rare in this league. So anytime he was asked to play or practice or even on scout team, he's been phenomenal. So he treats it like a pro, as a leader on the team, despite not being the starter, which is hard to do, and can't say enough good things about him. So if he has to go, I'm sure he'll be ready.
Can you provide any update on where Jaden is today?
No, he's just preparing mentally. Marcus is getting the reps physically. Jaden preparing mentally, and we'll take it from there.
At running back, obviously losing Austin is a big blow. Without kind of divulging specific game plans, how are you planning to address that, I guess, moving forward at the running back spot?
Yeah, more by committee, there's no doubt. That's a tough loss. I feel really bad for Austin. Incredible contributor in the locker room and on the field. Was really playing at a high level this year, so that hurts. But we have some young backs that are excited to get more touches, and so it'll be kind of that group that's been playing, just getting more of the load.
The quarterbacks here for 2 years have talked about how close they are. Is that always the case in your experience? And like, how much does that help, especially during a week like this?
I think it's huge, and you got to give Tavita Pritchard, our quarterbacks coach, a lot of credit for building that type of camaraderie in that room, and David Blau as well, the assistant quarterbacks coach. Just truly good guys that like each other. Like across the board, I would let anybody in that room marry my hypothetical daughter except Hartman, because he's way too good looking. But just phenomenal people above all else, hard workers, professionals, and they're truly like a joy to be around every day.
Chase Edmonds, a guy you know well. We talked to him yesterday, and he said the first thing he did at practice was go up to Bill and be like, "Hey, man, I'm a resource for you." Is that with Austin now out, is that important for his development? I'm sure. I don't know if he has you have a role in mind for him as well, but just to help with Bill.
Yeah. Chase is one of the most dialed-in players I've been around in Arizona. Had a couple of really good years with him, playing at a high level with him and James Conner kind of alternating. And so to get a guy like that who knows the system, who's been in it, can still play at a high level to continue to help mentor a player like Bill, I think it was a huge addition for us.
What's the hardest thing to replace with Austin?
Just the run after catch stuff and the ability to make people miss in space. We were able to set up some plays and do different things to get him touches that the first guy never tackled him, and that is kind of the hidden yards. You can take some stuff out of the quarterback with a guy who can get you those type of yards, so that will be missed.
And then with Krosky Merritt, if he's obviously going to get more touches or time or whatever, what's the challenge for him? What are some things that you're going to need to see out of him if he's in that role?
Yeah, just continue to progress. In I would say playing without the ball. I think every time he's touched it, good things happen. It's just as a young player, there's a lot of things you haven't seen, whether it's pass pro, leading for somebody else, running the proper route technique, things of that nature. So he's just got to keep coming. But I've been really impressed by his work ethic and staying on top of it, and he's definitely improved each week.
Josh Connerly has kind of been thrown into the fire against these two defensive fronts. How is he coming along, you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely been thrown into the fire. There's no doubt. When you talk about the Giants front, Micah is as dominant as any player I've seen since I've been in the league. And then you get Mad Max this week. It's got his hands full. But he's progressing as a rookie should, learning along the way, on-the-job training. And I've been really proud of just the way he's battled. We got a ways to go as an entire offense, but I like how he's competed, and he's just got to keep getting better.
And then if you're without John Bates for this week, an extended period, whatever, how do you fill the void there with his blocking ability?
Yeah, it's not easy. There's no doubt. That showed up the other night. He's a big part of what we do in the run game and has really helped us be successful there. And so we'll just have to be creative with the other bodies we have and mix things up. But to have a guy at the point of attack that we feel is pretty dominant like him and not be able to game plan with him makes it tough.
Hey, Coach, when you look at the offense over the last two games, how would you assess them, what you like, what you want to see done better?
Yeah, I just say a work in progress. I thought, the Giants game showed some promises, weren't very precise in some areas, and then as far as Green Bay went, first off, you got to give them a lot of credit. I think that defensive staff does a tremendous job there. They have a really good defense, a talented defense, and they got after us. Any opportunities we had, we didn't seem to make the most of. But it's week 2. Got to keep getting better. Got to keep, learning together. We haven't been together that much as a complete unit, getting on the same page. And so it was good to get back this week and actually practice and get out there and try to build. But yeah, I just think we're a work in progress right now.
Hey, Coach. When you look at going back to Josh Connolly Jr. and the relationship that Laramie Tunsil is building with him, what have you seen in just how they are grown together and just from overall their play on game day? Yeah,
that's been awesome to see LT really take him under his wing. They get out there early, work on pass sets, talk through things. I know he took him down there to Auburn to work out with him, and that's not anything we asked him to do. That's just the type of person he is. So you can tell anytime they're together, they're talking football, and he's sharing all the knowledge he has, which will only help Josh, battle through this, gauntlet of tough defenders he's gone against.
Hey, Kliff, to go back to replacing Bates and using 12 personnel and things like that, Benson only played a handful of plays despite John being out. When he came in, it was viewed as like a H-back and the guy you can move around. Was there some reason you didn't view him as a clear replacement for Bates in that game, or how do you kind of assess where Sinnott is in terms of the guy you would look to use? Yeah,
I think he's a guy who's versatile in that role. I think the game at some point there in the second half, mid-second half, got where we had to throw it more than we would have liked anyways with the score. But, I'm excited to get him out there, get him going, having a full week of practice and doing some different things. And like I said, I think he can play in line. We see him probably more as an off-the-ball guy, but he's serviceable in line.
And at receiver, I know you're not in charge of personnel. Noah Brown was very effective for you guys last year. Unfortunately, also got hurt, and that's been a characteristic of his career. From your perspective, what was sort of the contingency plan should he miss time at any point for this year? And are you kind of happy, comfortable with what you have for that?
Yeah, he's a guy we want back, there's no doubt. Felt like he's played at a very high level when we've had him. But we got some young guys that we like and are continuing to develop. And so I like the group we have. You can't replace a guy like Noah, his experience, what he can do as far as a route runner. But I like the group, and I think they'll continue to get better.
Hey, what's going on, Coach? Terry's a great player, but are you surprised with the amount of double teams that he's getting right now, considering you guys have more offensive weapons like Debo and some of the other guys? Yeah,
they're doing a great job, and everybody does. They know that he's a huge part of this offense, and when he gets going, we're really hard to stop. And I just think collectively, as the offense continues to build and grow together, that his opportunities will pick up, and they won't be able to double him as much and really just try to take him away. So I think it's just collectively we've got to build as a unit, get better as a unit, and then the impact that he has on the game will start to show up more.
And do you feel like there's things that you guys can do to get him going early so he's part of the game?
Yeah, I think just playing better, like I said, as a collective offense, being able to stay on the field on third down, things of that nature, have really limited our drives and shortened some things that we have to be better at. Thank y'all.